last but not least, letter of the night. This is a letter to Caleb Swope. The only man I know that can love people with a sincere heart and then beat them up in the gym mat, all right? For Caleb Swope, by his dad. There are few things that can disrupt life more than that firstborn child. Your mom and I were married 7 years when you joined our family. It's a wonder you survived having us as your parents. When we brought you home from the hospital, Mom covered you with a blanket to keep you warm, and then I carried you out and strapped your seat into the car upside down. That's what happened. No. As you grew, it was clear that God placed you into the right family. You had no trouble with going out to eat at midnight or taking long road trips in the car. That's the family you got. You also quickly developed your skills at locating chocolate and consuming as much as possible before getting caught. Over the years, you've welcomed many important lessons from Mom. You got her outgoing, compassionate spirit. You knew your way around the kitchen, a skill that will serve you well throughout life. And you've picked up her love for God and the Word. I've done my best to help you mature as well. You're a better shot than me in the woods, and you're almost to the point of making me tap on the mat. And I've never been more proud of you than when I saw you deliver the message to 141 a few months ago. As a family, we've always loved to read together. My love for poetry was instilled in me by my granddaddy, so when you were just 3 months old, I wrote a poem in my journal. You see, Mom, and I have learned from you as well. Here it is. My son is just beginning to share his life with me. And as his dad, my love for him knows no boundaries. So there isn't any question, and 'tis surely no surprise, that I swell with pride and love when he looks into my eyes. He hasn't learned to gesture or to put his thoughts to words. He hasn't recognized a tree or heard the singing of birds. His expressions are quite limited, and therefore he relies on a simple act of childish love. He looks into my eyes. There is so much that's new to him and so much he must learn. Distractions from within without call at every turn. And when his growing hunger pains, pleadingly he cries, yet he still takes the time and stops and looks into my eyes. From a little boy, I'm learning all about a father's love. And in reflection, think about my Father up above. He always loves me with a love that knows no boundaries. And even more, his love will reach into eternity. For he has a son who long ago lived upon this land, and in his journey to the cross he held his Father's hand. Though his journey cost him all, he knew that he would rise to once again be with his dad and look into his eyes. From his death and life, a new life I've begun. He is now my Father, and I am now his son. But somehow in the learning and the growing, I've lost sight of a simple act of childish love that gives my daddy delight. He knows that my desire is to serve him and obey, and patiently he watches as I struggle through my day. His mighty hand can calm the storm, and he listens for my cries because he knows when I am weak, I look into his eyes. Like Christian, I am traveling to the celestial land, and all the way I'm grateful to hold my Father's hand. You see, now I have a son to show where my treasure lies, and we'll reach that land together because he looks into God's eyes. Love, Mom and Dad.